I'm pretty sure most of you can agree that buying a home seems like an intimidating process. But lucky for you guys, we are here to make that easy for you. So today, we are going to be laying out all of the steps of buying your new Texas home. What's going on, guys? It's Bobby here from Your New Texas Home, and today we are going to be diving right into the nitty-gritty and teaching you guys everything you need to know about buying your new Texas home. So whether you're looking to buy a home in 7 days or 7 months, this is going to be the perfect video to watch for you to understand the process fully so you can be prepared to buy your new Texas home. And if you guys want to follow along with me, I'll leave a link down below in the description where you guys can go through this entire process with us and you can refer back to it whenever you want to. And it's just a great little tool to have handy as you go through the home buying process. So without further ado, let's get started, and we are going to start at number 1. Now, number 1 and number 2 are kind of synonymous or interchangeable. I feel like depending on the type of person you are, if you want to be extra prepared, you can do step 2 first, or you can do step 1 first, and step 1 will help you achieve step 2. So we'll start with step 1, which is finding a great agent. Now, like I said at the beginning, starting the home buying process can be very intimidating. Where do you go? Where do you start? Who do you talk to? Do you just go and ask someone, can you buy their house? No, there is a lot of steps that you have to go to before you can actually get the keys to a new home. So having a great real estate agent will help you guide through every single step of the process. Kind of like what we're doing here, just taking each step one by one chunk at a time, so that way you fully understand what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into, and just the whole process and how that relates to you and your new home. And a good agent will help you make the best decisions for you on your home buying journey, so that way you're not making the wrong steps or moves all on your own. Now let's move on to step 2. Now, like I said before, this is something that can be interchangeable with step 1. This is something you can already have done before you speak with an agent, or an agent can help you get started on this step. And that is checking your credit/finances. Guys, mortgage approvals are largely based on a couple of things, and one of the biggest ones is credit. Whether you're applying by yourself or you're applying with a spouse or a family member, you want to make sure everyone's credit is at the peak of the highest that it can be. So if you need to pay down any credit cards, if you need to pay off any loans, you want to do that stuff months in advance before you purchase a home. So right now is a good time to be thinking about all those things and understanding that your credit is a big factor in determining if you can get approved for a loan or how much of a loan you can get approved for. It's a big determinant in all of that. And there are 2 main things you want to verify. One is your credit score high enough to qualify for a loan? And number 2, is your credit score free of any errors or anything that can slow down the entire mortgaging process? Now, guys, it's smart to keep in mind that there are loan programs that will take down to a 580 credit score, but it's good to keep in mind that if you're thinking about buying a home in the next 6 months or so, you want to shoot for that 620 or higher, because that'll give you the most power when it comes to looking at lending options or looking at loan options. Alrighty, so you've checked your credit, your finances are good, you're ready to go ahead and move to the next step, which is number 3, protecting yourself from spam calls. Pretty sure you didn't expect that. Yes, it is very important, and it's a big thing because it can be a huge headache. It can be a big annoyance. A lot of people do not prepare to get the amount of spam calls that you'll get once you start the loan process. Unfortunately, when you get a pre-approval or you start talking to a lender, credit bureaus will sell your information to all kinds of places. So that means that spam calls will start to come in by the woodworks, and you can get upwards of 50 plus a day. So going ahead and registering at optoutprescreen.com or donotcall.gov can really help lower those calls. I mean, it can't get rid of them completely, but it will lower them a ton, which is better than nothing, because you don't want to keep blocking number after number after number, because they will call you and change one number. It'll still be the same people, and they will keep calling you, and nobody wants that. So register at these websites, stop spam calls, or at least halt as many of them as you can. And then we'll move on to number 4, which I kind of hinted at it before, and that is getting pre-qualified or pre-approved. Before you start looking for homes, you absolutely want to get a pre-approval. Pre-approvals are pretty much this piece of paper that says, hey, this is how much house I can afford depending on my income, my credit, all of these factors that lenders are already going to look at. This is how much house that I can afford. So this is what I should be looking at, because if you don't have that pre-approval, you could be looking at houses that are either way out of your budget, or you could be looking at houses that are under your budget. And what if you want to go up or upgrade a little bit more and you have a little bit more wiggle room? That pre-approval is very important. It also shows agents and sellers that you are a serious buyer. It also shows that you're not just house hunting and window shopping. It shows that you actually have some power to purchase once you find a house and make an offer. And that actually takes us to a tangent step, or the next step, which is finding a lender. Now, guys, you don't want to go with the very first lender that you find or that you get a pre-approval from. A lot of people think that if you get a pre-approval from a lender, that's the lender you have to go with. That's not true. You guys can shop around for lenders, pretty much for the first, 45 to 60 days after getting your first pre-approval, because it's only going to affect your credit the hardest on that first pre-approval. After that, it's soft pulls from then on. So you're more than welcome to go and shop for lenders. And we suggest that you do. We suggest that you select at least 3 different lenders that you like and that you want to test out, because lenders are people that you're going to be working with throughout this entire process. So it usually takes anywhere from 30 to 90 days to buy a home. It could be quicker and it could be longer, but within that time period, you are going to be working very closely with a lender. And these lenders are going to be on you because they're going to need a bunch of documents, and you want to get them fast because they want to get you into your home fast. You want to find someone that's going to be one that you trust. You want to find someone that's easy to talk to, and someone that's going to understand the position that you're in. So it's a good idea to shop around for lenders before making a big decision. Another thing to note is something that we notice being new construction specialists is that a lot of builders will have their preferred lender, and their preferred lender is usually kind of the one that you have to go with in order to get all of their incentives and whatnot. You're not locked into going with that specific lender, but if you want the incentives like lower interest rate or closing cost assistance, whatever it may be, a lot of times you have to go with that lender. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then we move on to the fun part, which is looking for your new Texas home. This is the fun part. This is when you get with your agent. This is when you guys hop in the car and you go all over the Metroplex to look for a home that fits for you. This is when it's time to start figuring out how many bedrooms you want. Do you want a 3-car garage or a 2-car garage? How big do you want your backyard? This is where you're wanting to start making that list and shaving off things that you may not necessarily need but want, or necessarily that you actually have to have. You want a standing shower, or you want a 3-car garage. I have to have a 3-car garage. You want to make that list. And cool thing is, in our home buying process guide, we actually have a link to a really handy tool that we made, which is a needs versus wants versus must-haves checklist. And this checklist is a great tool for people who can't make up their minds, or for people who are starting this process and really don't know what they want or need. This is a tool that you can really just go down the list and see all of the different categories and all of the different things that you probably didn't even think you needed or even existed. And it's a great thing to take with you when you are looking for homes. It might be a great thing to send to your agent too, so that way they can either tailor down the home search even more for you. The next thing on our list is making an offer. So you found a house that you love. You found a house that you think you could live in for years to come, and you want to make an offer. Now is the time to get with your agent, let them know, hey, this is the house. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's send in an offer. When you make an offer, you can do a couple different things. You can propose different things like purchase price, closing date, inspection terms, and many more. Say you want to push the closing date back after you get back from vacation or something like that. That's something you can put in your offer. Or say, for instance, you want to add an extra 5 feet to the driveway and you want the seller to do that. That's something you can add into the offer. There's so many different things you can do. Or even if you're selling your home to buy this home, you can add a contingency into the offer, and your agent can help with all of that. And that's something that really is great about buying a home, is that everything is negotiable. If you remember anything from this video, remember, everything is negotiable. Anything and everything can be negotiated, and it should be negotiated, so that way you can get the best of the best for you and your family. But remember, sellers can accept reject, or counter with their own terms. So don't make an offer and think that's the end of it. Sellers a lot of times won't accept the first offer unless it's literally at asking price and you're not asking for anything else. But a lot of times they will counter with something that they can do. But it's best to ask high and then be told no, and be told like we can meet you here, and then kind of find some wiggle room in there. There's a bunch of different things you can do with that, but having a good agent, once again, will help you navigate that a lot easier. One more thing to remember is an offer isn't accepted until both the seller and the buyer sign the contract. So just keep that in mind. Now, after you've made an offer, it is time to send in your earnest money. You may be asking, Bobby, what the heck is earnest money? Well, earnest money is basically a statement to the seller saying, hey, I am a serious buyer and I'm serious about this house that we're putting an offer on. So here is a little bit of the purchase price. So usually I think around 1% of the purchase price. This money will go into an escrow account and it will stay there the entire length of the whole negotiating process until closing date. And then you will be given this money back to put towards the actual purchase price of the home. Like I said, guys, earnest money is literally just guaranteeing that you are serious about buying this home and that you're not going to back out of this contract. This is saying, hey, I want this home just as much as you want to sell it. But once you've sent the seller the earnest money, this is where we get into the nitty gritty, and this is where you get to step 9, getting a home inspection. Guys, I'm gonna say this a couple of times. Get a home inspection. Get a home inspection. Get a home inspection. It is very important, and just because it is optional, it's not something you should skip by. It's usually anywhere from $300 to $500, and that is worth way more in weight when you find out any little bitty things or big things that could be wrong with the house that you're trying to buy, things that you might not see that an inspector can find and they can diagnose and give you a printed out list of, hey, these things need to be fixed or it's not safe, or these things need to be fixed if you just don't want this to happen. And an inspector will go through the entire home. They'll walk the outside, the exterior, they'll walk the interior, they'll check all of the systems, they'll check all of the little bitty things that you wouldn't even think of, the things that you don't see, your HVAC, your basement, your attic. They'll check your joist work, like the foundation. They'll literally check everything, and they'll make sure they give you a non-biased like list of saying, hey, these are the things I saw. I'm pretty sure you might want them to be fixed, but hey, this is just what I saw. This is it's on you now. And I highly suggest that because it'll make your life so much easier, and it'll also give you a lot of peace of mind. And you can live and sleep without waking up in the middle of the night wondering what's going to break next. Get a home inspection. We'll leave it at that. And we'll move on to number 10, an appraisal. Now, appraisals are something that you really don't have any control over. These are ordered by the lender so that way they can estimate the actual value of what the proposed value is of the house. That way they know the money that they're lending you is justified because the actual value of the house meets the value of what it's listed at or what they're giving you. Now, even though it's out of your control and it's not something you specifically order, it is still something that you pay for that is within the lender fees. So usually your lender will go over that stuff with you before you guys start the process. But an appraisal fee is one of those things that will come out of your pocket. But an appraisal isn't necessarily just another expense because it could also save you money. If an appraiser goes out to the home and sees that the value is actually lower than what it's listed at, that's something that you can add to your contract or make a counter offer on that price based off the appraisal. And hey, it may save you $50,000, may save you $100,000. You just never know. Now, once you got the appraisal, everything checks out, everything's good to go. It is time to send your final documents to the lender. Now, this is kind of a boring part, but it is something that needs to be mentioned because documents are very important when it comes to lenders. Lenders need information from you to make sure that they can give you the correct amount of money as fast as they can get it. So you want to make sure you're in good communication with your lender. Once you have all the documents to your loan officer / lender, then you will get what is called a conditional approval. Yay, this is a good thing. This technically means you're approved technically because not just yet. They're still going to need some final documents, which is completely normal. Usually after a conditional approval, it's normal for, loan officers and lenders to ask for documents after that, even though you're like, oh, wait, I thought I sent everything. It's completely normal. Usually they take the most important stuff first, and then I think they get a little bit of extra things in the background that they're like, hey, we just need you to sign this, or can you send us this? So completely normal, nothing to worry about. After you get that conditional approval, you're almost on the way. And speaking of on the way, After you got that conditional approval, you are going to get ready to send those closing funds to the title company. This is a big step. This pretty much means you're almost there. You're literally at the finish line. Once you've reviewed the closing disclosure with your lender and your agent, this is when you're going to get ready to send over those closing funds, which could also be called cash to close. And a good thing to keep in mind is that if it's over $10,000, which most of the time it will be, usually you will have to either send a wire or a cashier's check. So just be prepared to go out and get one of those sent over to the title company. In Keynote, you always want to make sure you verify when things change when it comes to sending closing funds. It's a lot of money, and a lot of people could be asking you for a bunch of different things, switch locations here, add this person, and you always want to make sure you verify with your loan officer that this is legit, because it's easy to get scammed when you're in the fray of, a lot of time that you spend in this home buying process, and somebody asks you for something. You might just think, oh, that's just the right person, and let me go ahead and send it over. Always verify with your loan officer if anything changes from what they initially said. And now you've done it. It's closing day. This is where you'll meet at the title company with your agent and a closing rep, and this is where you'll sign all the final documents. Get your hands ready. You will be doing a lot of this, but these are good signatures. These are signatures saying, hey, this is your home now. This is everything that's included in your home. This is everything around your home, everything in the area of your home, everything. You want to sign off on all of it so that way you can finally get the keys. Now, once you've signed all the paperwork and your home has been funded, that's it. You did it. You got the keys. Now you get to go to your new Texas home and just enjoy it. This is the time when you get your keys, you go to the house, you move all your stuff in. And this is the time when you want to do all of your new Texas home duties, which is maybe a fresh coat of paint, switching out smoke detectors, changing out the locks, all of the fun stuff of being a new homeowner, setting up utilities. But this is also a time to reflect because you did it. This is a crazy process, and even though you have someone like us to guide you through it, it is still a lot of work, and it's still a mental, just gymnastics. So making it to the end is a victory in itself. And not only that, you're a homeowner now. Now this is all yours. You can do whatever you want with it for the most part. If you don't have an HOA. If you do have an HOA, just be careful. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. Like I said, if you want to look at this again, if you want to go through this again at any other time in your home buying process, in the link in the description, we'll have a link directly to it. Go and check it out. There's also some freebies in there, some cool tools that we have, like the needs versus wants. We have this cool little calculator you can play around with where you can see how much house you can afford. We have a bunch of cool stuff in that, so make sure you guys check the link in the bio. Go through this yourselves, go through it with your spouse, go through it with your family, so that way you guys are all informed. But if you guys have any questions, or like I said, if you're looking to buy a house in Texas in the next 7 days or 7 months, feel free to let us know down in the comments. You guys can text or call us. You guys can send us a DM. We're here. We're ready to help you guys. But other than that, congratulations on starting the process, or congratulations on finishing the process. And we'll see you next week.